I used to be all hustle, all grind, no sleep, all gas, no brakes. And guess what happens if a car has no brakes? It crashes. And that's what happened to me. It led to me being miserable, unhappy, burnt out, and I eventually crashed. It's stupid. But once I stopped doing stupid stuff, I made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. And not only that, I'm actually happier, fulfilled, at peace, and enjoy my business and life on a day-to-day basis. It's actually pretty cool. And in this video, I'm gonna give you the 10 things that I quit to get to that point. I used to pride myself on how busy I was, but it took me burning out, which led to a terrible crash to make me realize that I wasn't going anywhere. Just like running on a treadmill, you don't go anywhere, you just get tired. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you just end up like one of those little hamsters on one of those little wheels. It's just running so hard and the wheels just spinning, but they don't go anywhere. And I've never trusted those hamsters because they just look like little rats. Maybe that's why they call it the rat race. I don't know, things that make you go, But look, check this out. This all starts with people having priorities. And you need to realize that the word priority is derived from a Greek word that means the one. But people started to do what people do, and they took this word priority and they turned it into priorities. Plural, but there's never been a reason to have priorities. People need to have a priority, which if you go back to the origin, to the Greek word that it's derived from, which means the one. People, they have a problem with focus. And focus stands for follow one course until successful. So instead of having a priority, people have priorities and they start to multitask. And here's the thing about multitasking. It is impossible for you as a person to multitask. Our brains are not designed for it. The whole term of multitasking, it was developed like in the mid-60s, I believe 1965, right? And when they came up with this term multitasking back in the 1960s, they weren't talking about humans, they were talking about computers. But then again, people started to do what people do, and they started to use a term that was made for computers and started to apply it to themselves and think that they can multitask. But here's the thing about it. Computers aren't even able to multitask. Like, it looks like they do because the speed that they move, but a computer actually stops one task completely and then starts another task 100%. And then they stop that one task completely and then do something else 100%. But they move so quickly that it looks like it's doing multiple things at a time. But even the computer cannot multitask. It has to focus on one thing and then it jumps to one other thing. But the main issue that a lot of entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs suffer from is that they're not able to focus. They're not able to follow one course until successful because they have priorities instead of one priority, and they're trying to multitask when it's impossible for the brain to do. That's why people, including my former self, can be so busy but get absolutely nothing done. Has that ever happened to you? Like, have you ever been really, really busy in a day, and then at the end of the day, you reflect back on the day and you're like, dang, I didn't get nothing done, but I was so busy. Why is that? Why were you so busy, but you didn't get anything done? Because you were trying to make things priorities when it's impossible to have priorities. So you didn't get any one thing done for the day. So you actually do more by doing less and removing stupid stuff from your day so you can actually focus on the priority. So here are the 10 things that I quit, starting off with number 1, growing a social media audience, right? Growing a social media audience. I completely quit doing that. And a lot of people, they have told me that, no, you have to have a social media audience because you have to have a social media audience because there is the only way that you can grow an audience to build your personal brand and build a business. And then I say, shut up, stupid, because I haven't been on social media now in over a year. A lot of people don't know that my biggest platform that I have is Instagram. And I haven't been on Instagram since, as of today, a little before Thanksgiving time of 2023. And at the time, when I quit trying to grow a social media audience, I had like over 120 something thousand followers on Instagram. I don't know how many followers I have on there now because I haven't been on there in over a year. But at the time when I quit, I had somewhere over 120,000 followers on Instagram, maybe like 14, 15,000 followers on TikTok. But it's a complete waste of time and it is exhausting. It is exhausting to post 3 to 5 times per day. It is exhausting to post videos and stories and go live, and I don't know what they have now. Then they added threads, and it's just so much stuff to keep up with. But the ROI on social media is so little. And I'm not talking about an ROI as far as the amount of money that you make from views. I'm talking about the ROI on the impact on your actual business. Because in order to grow a successful business online, you do not want to be a content creator. Content creators out here broke. They're just doing a bunch of goofy looking stuff to try to get as many views as possible and then cross their fingers in the hope that they can get some AdSense dollars or money from advertisers, or cross their fingers and hope that some brand deal will reach out to them so they can get a post sponsored so they can build somebody else's business instead of building their own business. No, you want to be an entrepreneur, or what I like to call a contentpreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur that uses content to drive traffic to your business. And I've come to find true that, and I wish I knew this like a decade ago, but you don't need social media to do that. The best platform to make content on is this platform that you're on right now, YouTube. And guess what? I don't consider YouTube to be social media because it is a whole separate beast of an animal than social media is anyways. Because first of all, YouTube is a streaming platform, first of all. And then secondly, YouTube is a search engine. So when I say that YouTube is a streaming platform, you may not know this, but YouTube is the #1 streaming platform. Like, YouTube has taken over Netflix. It's bigger than Hulu. It's bigger than Amazon Prime. Take every streaming platform, YouTube has surpassed it, like, by far. And even just think about what your home screen looks like when you're on YouTube. It pretty much looks like something that would be on Netflix, right? Netflix has categories and thumbnails. You pick something that looks interesting to you. Same thing with YouTube. So it's a streaming platform first. Like, I was actually shocked when I looked at the analytics on my YouTube channel from the percentage of people that actually watch on TV versus like a computer or their phone or whatnot. Like, about 1/3 of my audience watches my content on a TV. But something else that is more powerful is that it's a search engine. So Google is the #1 search engine on the planet. And guess who owns YouTube? Google, which makes YouTube the second biggest search engine on the planet. People are searching for the answers to problems that they have in their life nonstop every day on YouTube. They don't do that on social media. So the #1 problem that most entrepreneurs have is that nobody knows that they exist. So then they go out and they try to find customers instead of attracting customers. And I will tell you that, and this is a life lesson, let alone just a business and entrepreneurship lesson. It is always going to be easier to attract something than to chase something. Because guess what? When you're chasing something, something is running away from you. Versus when you attract something, it just comes to you. It's like basic boy meets girl. Boy meets a girl, boy likes a girl, boy chases girl. Girl doesn't want boy because boy is chasing girl. But then when boy figures out a way to attract the girl, girl wants boy because she just comes to him. It's like basic sandbox stuff. And I'm telling you, there are hundreds, if not thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that would love to tap into what you have to offer if they only knew that you existed. Well, how do you get them to know that you exist? You tap into this power of YouTube and you make the content that they're actually looking for so they will discover you. You don't have to go and find them. And not only will you pop up in the stuff that they're searching for, but you will get suggested on their homepage because they're going to be looking at similar type of content that you make. And most people, they are so focused on social media because they think that they have to have all these followers. I need a huge audience. Well, you don't, because typically to have a huge audience, you have to be talking about pretty general stuff So you're going to start to get an audience of people that are into so many different things that when those creators try to monetize that, they wonder why they can't make any money because nobody's tuned into them for a particular thing. Versus you can have a very small audience and build that to a high 6 to 7 figure level and even beyond. And I can't talk about the beyond yet because I have not made like 8 figures in my business, but I've taken it to a 7 figure level. And the thing that changed everything for me internally, I read this article by a guy by the name of Kevin Kelly called 1000 True Fans. Right? It's a short article. I highly recommend that you read it. But the whole concept of this is that if you can get 1,000 true fans, you can build a 6-figure per year business. He said if you get 1,000 people paying you $100 per year, you have your $100,000 business, that ever elusive 6-figure benchmark that everybody shoots for, right? But once you just understand the concept of that, you can move the numbers around to fit what it is that you need. You may not need 1,000 true fans. You might need 300 people paying $100 per month to have a $30,000 per month business, to be making $1,000 per day. That's more than attainable to do in today's day and age. And you don't need to have a big audience for that. You need to have the right audience, which leads to the second thing that I quit. Number 2, I quit advertising. All right. In a previous entrepreneur life of mine, I did a lot of paid advertising because I thought that that was the way that you had to grow a business. You have to advertise yourself. You have to pay for ads. I'm seeing all these ads anytime that I'm on the computer. I'm hearing from all these guys about how you have to master Facebook ads and whatnot. So let me go and run some ads. But here's the thing. Entrepreneurship, there's 4 levels of entrepreneurship, right? You have branding, marketing, sales, and delegation. Branding, marketing, sales, and delegation. So the brand is the foundation of everything. Then you market to the people that are familiar with your personal brand. You sell to the people that you market to. And then here at the top, delegation. Now that you have some money coming in your business, now you can delegate tasks, outsource stuff, hire contractors, virtual assistants, employees, all that type of stuff, right? But something that I missed was here. The brand is everything. That's why a lot of those people that do paid advertising, they've put themselves in a box to where they have to pay for ads to get any attention on their business because they have no brand. And here's the other thing about paid advertising. How many ads do you see per day that you just click off of, that you just hit skip, that you just swipe past, that you probably hit skip on this video that you're watching right now? Why do you skip those? Because you don't know them, you don't like them, and you don't trust them. I call it the know, like, and trust factor, because people buy stuff from people that they know, like, and trust. So majority of those ads, people, they don't know who they are. They're just like the person in the middle of the mall at a mall kiosk. Think about the last time that you've been to a mall. You know those people in the middle of the mall at the mall kiosk? You walk past them 100% of the time, right? Imagine this is the hallway in the mall. These are the mall kiosks. You walk past them 100% of the time. And where do you walk to? You walk past them and you walk in to the stores or the brands that you already know, like, and trust. You think that all these people are annoying. Hey, can I spray this on you? Hey, can I clean your shoes? Hey, can I rub this lotion on you? No, leave me alone. Why? Because you don't know who the heck they are. It's the same thing with advertising. And something else a lot of people mistake is that they think that marketing is advertising. No, advertising is something to where you are putting $1 in and you want to get at least $2 back. And with paid ads, most of the time it doesn't even work like that. So look, amateurs get paid on the front end, experts get paid on the back end. So most of the time in paid advertising, people think that they can put $1 in and get like $2 back, right? But majority of people that are successful in running ads, this is not what they're doing. They're putting $1 in and hoping to get $1 back. They're looking to break even. and then they're looking to make their money on the back end. Or a lot of these people are actually putting $1 in, like majority of them, they're putting $1 in and they're going negative, like they're losing money on their ads to make money on the back end, right? But the typical person thinks that advertising is, I want to put $1 in, I want to get at least $2 back. And it doesn't work like that. Plus, advertising is something to where you are spending money, but marketing, you do not have to spend money on marketing. And most people, they have the two together. Like they think that marketing and advertising is the same thing when they're not. And what I've come to find with the power of YouTube, guess what? You're going to build your personal brand, you can market, and you can sell. So if you build a solid personal brand on a platform like YouTube, you get people to know, like, and trust you. The marketing and the sales pretty much takes care of itself, because you build yourself up as a person that has a solution to a particular problem. Then you package up that solution in a digital product. Then you can simply just give information on how to solve the problem, and then people will buy your solution because they come to know you, then they come to like you, then they come to trust that you have a good product through the previous content that they have consumed from you. I call it the binge and buy effect. People will come to discover you, then they will start to watch video after video after video after video. And the only way that they get to watching all of those successions of videos is because they like you. And then once they trust you, they will make a purchasing decision. And there's been a study, I think by Google actually, that said that people need to consume like 7 hours of content from somebody to make a purchasing decision. And what better place to get those 7 hours than on YouTube? And it's way cheaper also. So I'll give you a real life example right now. I'll put up a screenshot for you. The past 28 days, my channel, and I don't have the biggest channel, but my channel has gotten about 1 million impressions. If you're not familiar with what an impression is an eyeball. So anytime your stuff gets seen, I'm not saying a view, but I'm saying anytime an eyeball lands on your content, that is considered an impression. And the way that advertising works is that they charge you by 1,000 impressions. So 1,000 impressions in the marketing world is called a CPM, cost per mil, or mil is like a fancy word for 1,000, right? So the way that advertisers or advertising platforms charge an advertiser is by the CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions. When I was running paid ads, I was paying about $25 per 1,000 impressions. So just doing quick math real quick, if my small YouTube channel has gotten 1 million impressions the past month or so, and I divide that by 1,000, I'm going to get 1,000, right? But then if I multiply that by the $25 that I was paying when I was running paid advertising, that equals $25,000. So I've basically gotten $25,000 worth of free promotion from my small YouTube channel. And on top of that, they paid me a little bit for it too. So I'm actually getting paid to make stuff that I actually love and enjoy and have fun making. It's actually helping other people, and it's helping me build my business all at the same time. To whereas for those same impressions with paid advertising, I would have had to pay about $25,000. That is the power of YouTube. So if you're not taking your YouTube seriously, you need to. And the best time to start a YouTube channel was years ago, because I wish that I took my YouTube seriously years ago. But the second best time to start taking your YouTube seriously is now. Now, the third thing that I quit doing was that I stopped focusing on information. So what a lot of entrepreneurs are doing is that they're focusing so much on information when you don't need to focus on information. So they want to educate somebody that could be a prospective customer, and they think that they need to just give all of the information about whatever it is that they have in their head. And they think that that information is what is going to make people buy their products or buy their digital products, or they think that somebody wants to buy a info product. Well, guess what? People, they don't care about information. People, they care about transformation. And this is the only reason why anybody will purchase anything from you. We live in the information age. Everything is Googleable, everything is YouTubeable, and everything is ChatGPTable, except for the stuff that I got. You can't find the stuff that I got outside of what I got. I'm out here cooking with grease and seasoning, and a lot of people out here just really unflavored. They got no seasoning, they got no sauce. But people, they want the transformation. So if you obsess on coming up with solutions to other people's problems, and then you package that solution in a digital product, people are going to buy that for the transformation that they are going to get, for that solution that they're going to get. They're not going to purchase something just because it contains information. So can you take somebody from where they are right now to where they want to be? If somebody is Peter Parker, can you turn them into Spider-Man? If somebody is Clark Kent, can you turn them into Superman? If somebody is Steve Urkel, can you turn them into Stefan Urkel? Right? But don't focus on the information, focus on the transformation, which leads to the fourth thing that I quit, I used to try to help everybody. And look, and most people that I help also, they're trying to help everybody. And look, you can't help everybody. When you try to help everybody, you don't help anybody. And then you'll probably get exhausted because you're trying to help everybody. And then also internally, you won't really have a passion about what you're doing because you're not going to feel like that you're affecting anybody because you're trying to get to the masses. And you actually do get to the masses by focusing on one. Remember, focus, F-O-C-U-S, follow one course until successful. So you don't need to help everybody, you need to help somebody. And the somebody that you need to help is your avatar. So this is one customer profile that you're helping. So remember, focus, everything comes back to one. If you can help one person, one avatar, you build a super specific avatar profile, and you obsess on coming up with solutions to only their problem, and you only create content for this one avatar. One solution to one problem with one avatar and one source of traffic, I'm telling you can scale that to a high 6 and 7 figure level. But the problem is that people are out here trying to help everybody instead of helping that somebody, which is their avatar. And you'll be shocked to find out how many people fit your avatar's profile within a certain market or within a certain niche. But the problem is that everybody is trying to attack the whole niche, or the TAM. And the TAM stands for target addressable market. People, they're just attacking the whole market instead of finding one avatar within that actual market. And then once you know who it is that you're actually speaking to, and you know who it is that you're actually helping, you'll be shocked to find out how many more people fit that avatar's profile within your target addressable market or within your niche. And then things start to get very simple for you. And here's the thing about it, simple scales and fancy fails. You want to simplify everything. And once you can just actually focus, follow one course until successful. And every time you're thinking about all these things, focus back to one priority or the priority. Things start to get very simple for you, and you will see how, and I'm very cautious on when I say what is easy. You will see how easy it is to actually grow. And here's the thing about growth also, which leads into the fifth thing that I quit. A lot of people, especially once you start to make some money, you start to think that you need this team to help you build, right? And I'm not saying that you don't need a team, but the fifth thing that I quit doing was that I stopped hiring people. But I didn't just stop hiring people, I stopped hiring for things that I don't need. So I stopped hiring for things that I don't need. All right. Stop hiring for things that I don't need. And this was a big one because there came a point in my entrepreneurial journey where I was just paying people just to pay people, or because I heard somebody else say that I needed a team. And when most people make the mistakes that I made, they actually don't know why they're hiring. They just think that they need to hire somebody. And a lot of times we hire or we outsource for the things that we either don't enjoy doing or that we don't know how to do. But if you don't know how to do something, then you don't know if the person that you're paying is doing a good job because you know nothing about it. Right, so something that I did was that I would hire fast or outsource fast, and then I would get rid of them slow versus flipping it and hiring or bringing somebody on slowly. And then if they're not doing the job right, get rid of them fast. And a lot of stuff, especially online, you don't need actual full-time hires for a lot of the stuff that you'll need to do in an online business. A lot of the stuff can be done by a virtual assistant. Like you can outsource somebody in the Philippines or something, right? And the reason why you would do that is you're basically just leveraging the power of the US dollar versus the Filipino peso, right? Like a lot of things that need to be done online, you can get somebody online somewhere else to do the stuff online, right? But don't just hire for stuff that you actually don't need. And a lot of times people, they ask me, what should their first hire be? And I tell them this: if you are asking who you should hire or what your first hire should be, then you don't need to hire anybody, because your business will tell you what you need to hire. There's going to become a task that is just so overwhelming, or that you just don't have the time to do, or it's actually taking your time from the money generating activities that you need to do in your business, that you need to remove it. You will know what you need to hire for. So if somebody's making content and they're spending hours upon hours upon hours upon hours editing their content, then they'll know that they need to get a video editor. But if editing's not a problem for you, or if you actually enjoy doing it, don't go hire a video editor. Actually, the things that I actually recommend people hire for first is like stuff to remove the daily chores or the daily mundane tasks that have nothing to do with your business. So something that I'm talking about is like Instacart, right? People, they don't look at something like this as a hire, but if you just pay Instacart a little fee to deliver your groceries, that will save you how many hours per week? If you use like a meal delivery service for your food, right? Like every single week, every single Tuesday, I have healthy meals delivered to my door. Guess what? I don't have to go to the grocery store to get that food. I don't have to then prepare that food. I don't then have to clean up all the pots and skillets and pans and stuff from that food. And just takes away certain decisions that I have to make each and every single day, to whereas I can get my time back and focus on what I actually need to focus on, so I can stay in my level of genius. Something else I do, I pay somebody to come and clean my crib, right? Martha and the homegirl, they come through and they clean my crib. Now, I tell people to do this, they say, well, I can't get a maid. I'm not saying that you gotta go get a maid. It doesn't have to be a full-time maid, but when I need my house clean, Martha comes through and she cleans my crib. Yeah, Martha, she charges me $130 to clean my crib, but in that time frame that she's cleaning my crib, the $130 that I pay her, my time is worth way more than that. Because last time she came through and cleaned my crib, I thought of 6 YouTube videos. One of those videos paid me way more than $130, right? So before you actually think about outsourcing stuff, think about outsourcing the stuff in your day-to-day life, to where you can get your time back first. And then from you having a maximum amount of your time, then think about the things from your actual business that you can outsource. So then you can get more of your time back, so you can stay in your level and stay in your mode of genius. And a lot of this stuff comes down to attention, which is the 6th thing that I quit. I quit diversifying my attention. I quit diversifying my attention. Because remember, this stuff, it comes down to focus. So most people, they can't focus on anything because all of their attention, their energy, and their focus is spread out all these different ways, to whereas if you can just take all of that attention and put it on one thing and actually focus, you will see how far you will get. You will see how far and further and faster you get to where it is that you're actually going once you stop diversifying your attention and you focus in on one. That's one of the reasons why I said I quit social media with my first thing that I quit, because I know the long-term ROI on YouTube is going to be so much more great than whatever I could do over on social media. And the impact that I could have on the person that I actually want to have an impact on is going to be felt much greater on YouTube than over on that stuff that just turns your brain to mush and turns you into a stupid person. And number 7, and when I tell people I quit this, it ruffles some feathers, but I quit hoping. I quit hope. Hope ain't gonna do nothing for you. And a lot of people are out here just hoping. They just hoping and wishing. And a lot of people out here too, especially in the entrepreneurial educational space, which is one of the reasons why I'm really focused on what I'm focused on and walking the path in my purpose. A lot of people out here just selling hope too. Like a lot of people are just productizing, selling hope to a bunch of hopeful individuals. But you guys quit hoping and you got to start making stuff happen. I don't hope. I know. I know stuff is going to work. Why do I know that stuff is going to work? Because I made a decision to make it work. Most people out here making choices. And when you have choices, it has options. But when you make a decision, it is definitive. I tell myself that this is going to work until it works. I don't negotiate with myself. And most people that are out here that can't ever figure out how to make anything work, they keep going back and forth and then negotiating with themselves inside their head on something that they claim that they wanted to do. Well, if this is what you said you're going to do, why are you thinking about all of the what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? I think about when it does work, this is going to happen. When it does work, oh, this is going to be so cool. And then, oh, what about when I get to do this? And what about when I get to travel here? And what about when I get to live this life? And what about, but I don't have to set an alarm clock and I can just go to sleep when I go to sleep and wake up when I wake up? And what about when I don't look forward to the weekend because really every single day feels the same to me because I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it on my own time. Man, this is going to be great. I don't think about what if it doesn't work. I don't have a plan B. My plan B is another way to make my plan A work. I don't hope, I know. And I know that I'm made in the image of God and God is the ultimate creator on earth and he gave me the divine power to create on earth. So I know if I'm made in his image and he's the ultimate creator, then I can create on earth. And I can create whatever life and whatever world I want for myself within the world. I don't hope, I know. And outside of that, a way that you can know instead of hoping is that you got to know your numbers, right? You got to know your numbers. Or another way to know your numbers are your KPIs. KPI stands for key performance indicators. So most entrepreneurs are out here and they're just running around like a chicken with their head cut off because they don't know or track any of their numbers. So they really are just crossing their fingers and hoping that something is going to work instead of actually having some numbers to justify the decisions that you're making. So nothing that I do is just done just for the sake of doing it. I do something, I get some data back from the thing that I do, and then I move forward from what the numbers say. It just turns into simple math. It's not rocket science. And then I can make those decisions off of what the numbers say to do, not off of what I just crossing my fingers and doing some experiment and just hoping that stuff works out. And that's why most people aren't moving around with any confidence in any of their actions because they have no justification on what it is that they're actually doing. They're just doing stuff instead of learning, creating, assessing, and refining. And that all starts to happen once you actually track your numbers. And then you can be confident in saying, oh, so I know if I push in here, I get this out, and you can focus on your actual inputs. Most people, they're focusing on their outputs. So what I mean by that is that they have goals, they have dreams, they have aspirations, and they're just focusing on the outcome of some dream that they're hoping for versus focusing on your actual metrics and knowing your actual numbers. So then you know what inputs to put in to get your desired output. So stop hoping and start knowing and start to move with that energy that you know something is going to happen versus you hope something is going to happen. Move with the same energy as whenever you hop in your car and go to the store, you have 100% belief and conviction that you are going to make it to the grocery store or you would not have gotten in your car. You got to have that same belief in knowing that what it is that you're working on is going to work, or else your subconscious mind is not going to get on board with that and take you to where your conscious mind wants to actually go, because your subconscious is running everything. It's like a 90-10 split. Your conscious mind is only running about 10% of the show. You got to get your subconscious mind on board with the things that you actually want to do. And then people wonder why they can't get to their desired situation. I'm like, because you don't have that belief within yourself that you're going to get there. So why would you get there? You got to have the same belief that this is going to work for you, just like you got that same belief every time you hit that power button on the remote control. You believe that the TV is going to cut on. You got to have that much belief in what it is that you say that you're going to do in order to make it actually happen. So you got to quit hoping. Now, the 8th thing, and I briefly touched on this earlier, was that I stopped looking for customers. right? I stopped looking for customers. Remember, it's always going to be easier to attract someone than to go out and chase them. And if you focus on becoming more discoverable, if you focus on becoming more findable, people that are looking for you and what you have to offer will find you, because you are now making the stuff that they are actually searching for. And guess what? If somebody is looking for you and you make yourself easy to be found, they will find you. You don't have to find them. You're watching this video right now. I did not come and tell you, hey, watch my video. You found me. There's a reason for that. And number 9, one of the reasons that a lot of people struggle with this is because they have poor communication. And I quit this too. Poor communication. Right? I'm telling you, your income will multiply by so much if you just become an effective communicator. I was listening to this Warren Buffett interview, and he was talking about how he sat down with all these kids in business school, and these kids had all these graduate degrees and whatnot in business school. And he told them all, like, hey, congratulations for all this college and education that you got. But if you simply just work on your communication skills, then your income will triple just from that. Yeah, all your education, all your college stuff that you learned in these books about business, all this stuff, it's fine and dandy. But your income will triple or quadruple by simply just becoming an effective communicator. Work on your communication skills. So I put my main focus in working on my communication skills, because I was like, if I'm an effective communicator, then I will be able to be paid forever, because all the entrepreneurship is coming up with the solution to somebody else's problem and then effectively communicating to that person that you have the solution that they're looking for. That's all that it is. And even outside of entrepreneurship, in a 9-to-5 workplace, who makes the most money? The people that are the effective communicators, the people that sit down all day at a desk or in a cubicle, and then they complain about the manager, or they complain about the person that's in sales that's just on the phone all day, or the people that are doing hard labor sit there and complain about a dude in a suit in an office that just sits on the phone all day. Well, why does that dude in a suit in the office that's up on the top floor on the phone all day, why does he make more money than the people doing the hard labor? Because he's an effective communicator driving revenue to the actual business. So just in the world, period, if you work on your communication skills, you will be fruitful in whatever endeavor that you want to do, whether it be something entrepreneur-wise, whether it be something in your personal relationships with your families or your friends or your siblings or your significant other. But the main skill that any entrepreneur or aspiring entrepreneur needs to be working on consistently is their communication skills. And to bring it back to YouTube again, what better place to work on your communication skills than YouTube? And they pay you to practice. I'm like, that's pretty cool. But then, number 10, I stopped worrying about things that don't matter. Right? I stopped worrying about things that don't matter. And this is huge. And it comes back down to the focus, right? Because a lot of these things don't matter at all. There's something called the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle. And the Pareto principle basically states that we get 80% of our results from 20% of our efforts. But the problem is that most people are focusing on the 20% of things that aren't going to bring in the results. So here's an example of this. Somebody will say that they're working on building their online business, but they don't have an LLC. They don't have a payment processor. They're not making any type of content. They're not focusing on any product creation. And I'm like, well, what are you doing to build your business? I'm reading a book, or I'm watching YouTube videos. Look, in order to do business, you need to have your articles of incorporation, your EIN number, a bank account, and a payment processor. And you need to go out and ask people for money. That's all you need to actually start a business. But people, they're talking about, I need a logo, and I'm working on what my brand colors are gonna be, and I need a catchy tagline. Oh yeah, I want to do YouTube, but I need a banner. I need a banner for my YouTube channel first. I'm like, you are doing everything to avoid doing business. You ain't doing nothing but procrastinating. And guess why you're procrastinating? Because you don't believe that this is going to work for you. Because if I told you that next month you will have a $100,000 month, you would have been done had all this stuff done. But you're procrastinating because something within you does not believe in you, and you don't really think that you could do it. Because all the stuff that you know is going to happen, you don't put it off. You get it done right now. But once I realized this and I assessed my personal situation, I was like, man, this is so true. It's really only a few things that are really moving the needle for me. So why don't I just go ahead and just eliminate all this other stuff and let me just focus in on these few things that are going to make me the most money and that are going to have me have the most growth in any and everything that I want to do. And guess what? I did that. And it works. And it's actually more peaceful. And I'm optimized for peace. And I actually get more done in way less time. And I actually make way more money doing way less. And anything that I do now, I'm optimized for peace. Peaceful, purposeful, passionate profits. That's what I go by. The PPPP. Peaceful, purposeful, passionate profits. I'm telling you, man, it's so cool to be living life on this side. I've also helped other people like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join the Is Credited at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But look, if I'm not right, I know that nothing's gonna be right, especially my business. And I really want you to come to the understanding that if you're not right within, then your business is not going to be right, because your business is going to be a direct reflection of who you are as a person. So if you're all over the place, guess what? Your business is going to be all over the place. If you're not at peace, guess what? Your business is not going to be at peace. If you don't have something within you that is fulfilling your passion, then you are going to hate the business that you are doing. And that is something that I would not wish on my greatest enemy, because I know what it feels like to be doing something that you hate doing just because you're making money with it. And then you feel like you can't stop doing the thing that you hate because it's paying for your lifestyle, because you need it to survive. It's a terrible feeling. It's no different than the feeling that I had when I worked my 9-to-5 job. And that's the whole reason why I fired my job April 1st, 2016, because I would physically get sick to my stomach just with the thought of going into work. And some mornings I would throw up. Like I would have to wake up an hour and a half earlier just to give myself a buffer to get ready for work. Because sometimes when I was brushing my teeth in the morning, I would throw up because I'm thinking about going into a place that I hated. And then guess what? I got started in business and was doing things that I really didn't enjoy doing, but I was getting paid for it. And I just ended up putting myself in another box that I hated. And it's a terrible feeling. And it might even be worse than that feeling that I had at my 9-to-5 job, because I had nobody else to blame for this other position. When I had my job, I could point my finger and blame the manager that I hated. I hate you, Dale. This is Dale's fault, or this is their fault, or this is their fault. But when I was an entrepreneur, I was like, man, I put myself here. But the great thing about that was, once I came to that realization, I was like, if I put myself here, then I can get myself out of here, because all of this is my fault. And it's so powerful. And I started to just optimize everything to be peaceful. And I'm all about peace. And you can move with a different energy when you actually look forward to what you're doing each and every single day, instead of just doing something because you're making some money with it. And then the money also gets bigger because you're in alignment with what it is that you're actually profiting from. So click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for 3 tiny digital products that you'll make at least 100K with. It's credited at the top.